Hey guys, Michelle from Michelle's Craft Corner here, and in today's video we're going to be making this fun Eclipse style card using the large letter framelits and the Night in Bethlehem bundle. Let's get started. So here is a close-up of that card, yet again using that fun eclipse technique, and eclipse refers to those letters being cut out and just that shadow, kind of like the recent eclipse that we had. I absolutely love how this turned out. If you Google or Pinterest eclipse cards, there's a whole bunch of different really awesome examples. But to do this one, I used the new Night in Bethlehem stamp set, which is just really nice. You've got the Bethlehem and Mary and Joseph and the shepherd. A lot you can do with this one. And of course it has a coordinating edgelit bundle, the city and all of them, where you're going to use that to cut out the star. So you can buy them separately or bundle them together and save. So besides the Night in Bethlehem, we're also going to be using today the large letter framelits. Now I know they're a bit pricier at the $99 price point, but you can do so much with them besides just the Eclipse cards. I've seen some really cool banners, a lot of different custom things. So really useful. I know we're missing a few letters because we're about to use them, but really do enjoy using these. So to cut them out, we're going to be using the Big Shot today. It's off camera just so I don't shake the camera. $110. Not only does it cut, but you can also do some really fun embossing in different projects. It comes with a standard cutting plate, which will cut out the framelits, but I do really like using the magnetic platform, which is an add-on, because that magnet holds those framelits in place when lining up those letters so they don't slide around. All right, so besides that, today we're also going to be using a couple of ink colors, our good old basic black, the Sahara Sand, and Night of Navy. And we're going to be sponging those on with the Stampin' Sponges. This is a whole pack of 3, and I tend to wedge them out, so a whole pack kind of lasts me a good bit. And then besides those, we're also going to be using a couple colors, the Whisper White Cardstock for our card front and inside. The Night of Navy Cardstock is going to be our card base. And we're also going to be using a tiny scrap of the gold foil sheets. Now you don't really need a ton to do the star. If you don't have the gold foil, you could also use the gold glimmer paper or just some of the yellow cardstock as well. And the other thing we're going to be using is some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. Now these are the standard size. I've used a few of them. The standard size hexagons you can do a lot with. You can cut them as well, and don't forget to use those edges as well. But they just came out with these new mini dimensionals, and you can kind of see the size difference between the two. We're really going to be using the minis today because you can really get them right in those letters and some of the tight spots a little easier than the normal size. And these are just really handy for a lot of projects. So, love the dimensionals. All right, do you guys think you got all of that? All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with our stamp set and our piece of Whisper White. And these are both cut at 5 by 3 3/4. Put that off to the side here. Okay. All right, so we're going to take our basic black archival, and what I like to do is start with my background pieces in black first. So we're going to start with this nice city skyline, a little town in Bethlehem. Ink it up really good. Now you don't have to do the whole thing because we're not going to do the whole city line, so you don't have to ink it all up. Do check it. All right, now I like to stamp it not straight in the middle, but about 2/3 down. Kind of gives a little more room for that star at the top later. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and do Mary and Joseph real quick. All Alright, and stick them off to the side, maybe a little lower, and straight down. Now, I'd also like to mention, if you're like me and sometimes you stamp and you miss a little spot, see like we missed a spot on Mary and a little bit on that city, you can easily take your Stampin' Up! Basic black marker and just go over that and just fix those spots, and the black on black you will not even be able to tell. See, look at that, just disappeared. There you go, so just a little touch up. Good as new. There we go. Alright, so now moving on, we're going to go ahead and grab our Sahara Sand next. And this, of course, is for the sand, and our Sahara Sand sponge. Now, for stamping this, what I like to do, and hopefully I can do this without shaking the camera, is do an up-down sponge first, kind of all over, and it really, to me, looks like sand. No, I did not ink that good enough. Here we go. Just like that. Kind of gives it a very sandy look. And I also really like to just kind of brush the edges. I think it adds a little texture if you do that. Alright, there we go. Add just a little bit more right there. Alright, and then after I've done the straight up and down sponging, I like to kind of just do a little brush back and forth. Kind of fills in some of those white spots, and hopefully I'm not shaking the camera when I do this. There we go. So it just kind of fills it in a little. Right. Now we're going to move on to our Night of Navy with our Night of Navy sponge. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with the sky. Now, if you're worried about having some bleed between the two colors, you can definitely do a post-it note or two and kind of, or a scrap sheet of paper and cover that edge. But I find that doing the light up and down sponging first, it's kind of easier to see where you're going and not cross that edge. But see, so there's just the straight up and down sponging, which is kind of cool just in and of itself if you like that. And then I'm just going to kind of take it and just brush. Hit those edges. So pretty quick. There we go. So just like that. So now we have our basic background for our card. Go ahead and move this out of the way. Alright, next thing we're going to do is take our large letter framelits. Now this works for any of the words that you want to do. And we're going to take them and line them up across the card. So whatever you're spelling out. Now we found that generally about 4 letters is the max for this paper size. If you want to do a bigger word, you're going to have to do a half card size, so a larger card size. But generally about 4 letters, and abbreviations can go a long way with doing Eclipse cards. So for this one, let me switch here. There we go. I lined it up pretty close to the edge so I could fit it in. See right there? Just tried to straighten it out. And then I stuck it in my big shot. So we've got the magnetic platform, clear plate, paper, framelits, and then another platform on top, and ran it through. And then we're going to have this right here for our background. Switch out. So once you have it like this, we're going to pop those letters straight out. Should come out pretty easily. Just like that. So there's our no L. And I'm going to go ahead and take my card base, fold that up, and adhere my background piece straight down. So it's going to be solid on that piece. Now do be careful of any like little long edge pieces or thinner areas. You want to be sure that those get put down nice and flat. I'm going to glue it to where I have that nice edge of Night of Navy all the way around. So just glue it straight down. Just like that. All right. And then we're going to take our letters and our fun little mini dimensionals. I know they're so tiny they may be hard to see in the video. And we're going to stick those on our letters. Being sure to kind of hit the ends of the letters and the middles just so they don't sink in when you stick them down. So just like that. Now I tend to use a lot of dimensionals for this. You don't have to use this many, you can use less. You can also use the Stampin' Up! The standard dimensionals and cut them in half. We've also got dimensional strips you can use instead. So a lot of good options. And I've also seen people glue the words straight down and pop the background up. So that's another way to do this as well. But I find that this is a little easier to do. Okay, so now we have dimensionals on all of our letters. We'll go ahead and start with our N and peel those little backings off. You will get little pieces of dimensional backings everywhere, but okay. So to line these up, what I recommend is sticking in a corner. See how you have like that corner just sits right in? So if you stick in the corner and then slide it or turn it and let it lay straight down. Now you can offset it a little bit and you'll have a little bit of that under color popping through, or you can set it straight in. I think this was a little more offset than I intended, but it does make it show up a little better. All right, so now we're going to do the rest of our letters real quick. So now we have all of our letters basically in. Now I wanted to show you on this one, some people may prefer to pop it up, but I really like just gluing it flat. So taking a little bit of that glue and just sticking it in and making it flat with the background. I think it makes that letter pop out. And that goes for any letter that has kind of a hole or center in it. All right, so the last thing we're going to do is cut out our star using our Big Shot and the star from the bundle. I have one ready to go right here. And I just like, since we've got so many things with dimensionals, to just stick a dimensional behind the star just to make that pop up as well, but you can glue it flat if you prefer. One of those standard dimensionals fits right in there so well. We just stick that star right in the corner. Last step, of course, would be to add our center to the inside of the card. I hope you guys enjoyed this Noel Christmas themed Eclipse card. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.